Evilverse Unleashed, a company-wide theme overtaking the Coffinverse in 2023.
Yes, here we go, live from HQ, all the way across the world to Canada. This is the one you've been waiting for. Don McTeigue is with us today. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Post your questions for Dawn. This is going to be a very informal, interactive experience, and we're so happy and delighted that Dawn is here. She did get the con crud. She's been traveling a lot lately, and let's hear it directly from her. Bring her in right now, Dawn McTeigue. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the live stream.
You have been traveling so much from the beginning of the year. It has been insane, this whirlwind nonstop tour that you're doing. Something
Busy times.
It is the age of McTeigue. Oh, speaking of McTeigue, did you celebrate with some green beer for St. Paddy's Day?
No, I failed. I forgot it was St. Patrick's Day. I was at a con and did not remember.
You gotta celebrate your people. Come on.
I know.
But this picture caught my attention when you posted that on Facebook. Holy cow. Airplanes and snow. So what are we looking at here?
That is the runway. So I'm really afraid of heights. So whenever the plane is landing, I close my window and don't look outside. And we had a completely fine, normal landing. And then I opened the window and I'm like, holy cow, it's like, how did he even land the plane? If I was driving that, I would have done spinning around, just considering how fast the plane is landing too. Anyway, yeah, it was intense. Getting home was very scary. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and see, looking in the background there, it has that huge snow blower that's just picking up all the snow. It's like, holy cow. Well, we're glad that you landed safely and you made it home, because we got so many conventions. So after that, that was 3 conventions ago. You were just in Planet Comic-Con.
That's right.
Yes. And that's when you caught the con crud. Sounds like you are getting better. You're not.
Yeah, I mean, I got it before I left. The night before I left, I was like, oh no, I'm not feeling 100%. So it's not Planet Comic-Con's fault. It is 100% Dawn's fault. But yeah, I haven't actually, I never get sick. I knock on wood. That's something that never happens to me. So I'm very fortunate when it comes to that. But yeah, this time my voice is still gone, but I feel fine. Hello, everyone.
Hey, folks, I just want to say stick around to the end, because we're going to premiere an exclusive that's coming up next week that Dawn did. But so stick around. We're going to show that off. Let's see. We got some comments already. Let's see. Matt wants to know when you're returning to Arizona. That's what we.
That is a very good question. I'm not sure. I don't know. I need to work that out.
I vote for tomorrow.
Thank you, Brandy. Hi, Brandy.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Good. I miss you.
I miss you too. And all the fans are all excited that you're on the live. Nice. All right. Love you all.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this piece of artwork. We had 2 versions of this that was on the Cybernetic Desecration, rocking the Kickstarter. This is the naughty version, and we also had the metallic version. And folks, if you didn't pick one of these up, Kickstarter is over, but there is going to be the backer kit coming up in a few weeks and a pop-up curve. So if there's any of these left, there should be some of the prints. I can guarantee that. But if the naughty version or this one's left, you could still might be able to pick one up. I'm not going to promise anything. So what can you tell us about this artwork? It was a stunner. Everyone loved the Terminator.
Oh yeah. Oh yay. Good. Honestly, for me, it was such a mind shift when I received the cover assignment. I usually get a basic theme, and I do appreciate that about Coffin Comics. When I receive an assignment, it's not extremely specific. It's not draw this from this angle, doing this, that, or the other. It's put her in, there's a few different options of sort of backgrounds or themes to work with and all of that stuff. And so, but for me, Lady Death, I've always had her in kind of goth queen vibe in my head. And so to like switch that into like cybernetic, I was just like, I'm sorry, what? How, what? It took me a minute to kind of wrap my head around it. Sorry about, I'm moving my hands and it's freaking out my webcam. So it took me a minute, and then the assignment was to give her some sort of cybernetic suit as well. And I was planning to put like glows in all the ribboning, but then once I added it in color on her suit one, it was like overpowering her and the skull. And so that's why I kind of was like, all right, this is a time where I'm going to try to be artistically mature, which is rare, and rein myself in, because I was just like throwing every glow and every flame and every flying rock. And I realized that it was detracting. So that's why I kind of pulled back a little bit. And then for her naughty suit, I kind of went 80s a little bit. At least that's what I was going for, with the red leather and, that kind of vibe to it. So it was really fun. And I chose an angle that's a little bit hard for me. I'm not a background person. I don't like drawing buildings at all. But I was like, every so often, if I haven't done them in a while, I'm like, I need to add a background in just for... it's how I assign myself school projects, because, I'm kind of learning on the job. So all the publishers get all of my school time. So I wanted to push the buildings backwards. So I actually sketched this whole thing out on a grid so that I could have the vanishing points in the right places, and, even make sure that her body was in the correct vanishing point. So like that put her boobs a whole lot more up into her chin, which tweaks out my brain when I'm trying to draw it. So that's why it helps to have that grid, or otherwise I'm like, oh my God, she's going to smack herself in the face, So it was interesting. It was a fun challenge that I gave myself. And I was also super nervous.
Well, you knocked it out of the park, definitely, because, you stepped up and, unbelievable. Yeah, you wouldn't think that this would give you any problems seeing the final outcome, but amazing. Well,
that's good. That's good. The tears and pain are not visible on the cover.
And since you mentioned the background, it is really neat. I kind of like really that really stands out to me, especially like this other one that's kind of tilting over and coming. Yeah. Just like, very dramatic. Usually backgrounds are just kind of, especially buildings, but that. Got a very amazing vibe.
Thank you.
Let's see, we got some questions from folks here. Got this Tony here saying hi, stuck away from work.
Hi, Tony.
And Rob here saying it's great hearing how your artist works and the magic approach the topic. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just so great. Thank you. Yeah, once again, thank you for taking time out. I know you have a lot of deadlines, got a lot of stuff to catch up on, so we really appreciate doing this with us. Let's see. Oh, would you prefer to see a Lady Death animated series or a live action series? What's your take on that?
I think I would love to see a live action, just because I would love to see. I mean, I can imagine that there would need to be a lot of like CGI involved, but to see it all in real time would be, or like done to look real, would be freaking amazing. So I would love that. Personally, I just want to see all the clothes for real.
Oh yeah, it would be amazing. I could see it on Netflix. Actually, it'd be probably better on HBO or something like that. So it would be,
exactly.
Rated mature or X for excitement. Hey, Rob's got a good point too. If you only have to draw half the buildings, it's easier. So that's great.
It is.
It's all burnt out, so that's great. Let's see. What's this one from? What the fan art? Let's see. If you were making a Lady Death book of complete creative control to have a crossover with another, who would you like to cross over with if you were able to? If Brian Pulido gave you the reins and say cross Lady Death over with another character, what would be fun to draw? You think?
That is such a good question. Well done, What the Fan Art. Way to give me a difficult one to answer. Okay, let's see. I almost like to see her cross over with something from Marvel or DC. Like if Lady Death and Mystique did something, and I know you have the Mystique picture right there, but still, Mystique would be very cool. It could almost have the Lady Death versus Hell Witch vibes going on. And I would love to see that for starters. And then let's see, someone from DC. I know Brian, at least from what I see in his collection, he's a Marvel guy. But let's see, from DC. I would love to see what Lady Death would do with a character like Harley Quinn, because I have a feeling Harley would annoy the shit out of Lady Death.
That's like, just, yeah. Totally. I feel like that it's just like the odd couple, right?
Oh, there. I know. Just like Harley just wants to blow shit up, and Lady Death is like, no, the swords and the power.
So you brought up Hell Witch. I want to talk about this piece that you did, and this one too. I pull up because there's not much left of Dawn McTeigue on the store, but this is one of the items out there we still have. So what can you tell us about this one? This was actually the a jewel edition, is what we have left on the store.
Okay. That one, Brian wanted me to have Hell Witch on a throne in a gown. So that was kind of what I was given. So the reason why I put Hell Witch sitting that way on the throne was honestly because I didn't know what to do with her wings. And so I was like, well, if I put her sideways, they can go somewhere. And then her dress actually was inspired by some cuts in a crystal wine glass, and I just saw these interesting cuts into the base of a wine glass, like the base of the cup. And I was like, you know what, those, I like the way that they slope over the roundness of the cup part, right? I can't English, everyone. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that works for me. How can I turn that kind of concept into a dress? And so that's why I kind of went with the whole peekaboo thing. And then the red was a happy accident. I probably went through like every color, just trying to see what would look nice on her. But I guess the red and green really works together well. And for some reason, I was in a tusk mood. So I did a tusks with marble tusks, but then in the cuts in the marble, they're glowing. You know, I like glows.
That's fascinating to hear. It's from a wine glass. You must have been really drunk when you were.
No, I swear I wasn't. I saw the wine glass on the internet.
And here's another one. This is always amazing. Bringing up this one because this is the first ever appearance of Lady Satanas on a cover, and she's going to have her own Kickstarter coming up this year.
Oh, so cool.
Talk about this. And which one? This is Lady Death Blasphemy Anthem. So this is the first appearance of Lady Satanas, and this is the naughty version. He did a nice version. What can you tell us about the?
This was another background assignment for myself. I wanted to work on depth and atmospheric perspective. So, you know, where the rocks in the back look kind of like they're going further away, but like when you draw this on a piece of paper that's white with black ink, nothing's going further away. It's all the same color, you know? And so you have to kind of fake it once you pull it into the computer to color it. If I was coloring it traditionally or doing it with Copic, of course I would change those colors as they went back, but because it's all black and white lines, that I took care of on the computer, and I was just trying to put in all of that stuff. Kylie Knight does the flatting for me, and poor thing, this one she was not happy with me at all because she had to do all the lava. And that's a pain in the ass. And then I was inspired by a frilled lizard for her top. You see it? You see it now?
Or that, it's like
yeah, yes. Is it a frilled lizard or a flare? No, it's frilled lizard, I think.
Yeah. I think of the one, that dinosaur from the spinning dinosaur from.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, how can I do that? So I almost just put it completely around her, kind of, you know, like how the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, that kind of thing. Yeah. But then I'm like, you know what? Her hair is covering half of that. I'm going to put it around this way. And then I just kind of scribbled in a pattern, so it sort of looked like, you know, lizard skin, I suppose.
And your background, I love how like it. I don't know what style that is. It's very expressive. It's like coming up like the Cabinet of Dr. Carla whatever that is. German Expressionism, where it's just kind of like jutting angles just coming up.
Oh, yay.
It's
Thank
not
you.
just like a standard background. So love that. Actually, now that you pointed out the backgrounds, this kind of reminds me of the, with the that one there, just kind of jutting. So your homework, you're getting very good on your homework. So thank you for
homework time.
for working for us. Let's see if we got some more comments from folks. Oh, where's that one? Oh, Rob is saying, don't drink and drive. Yeah, so Rob must know you pretty well. He says Dawn went through all 14 of her favorite reds on
Yes.
the dress. Here's one from Matt. Were you ever stumped on a Coffin cover and you have to ask for generate ideas elsewhere?
Oh, yes. I've definitely been stumped on Coffin covers for sure. And then as far as getting ideas elsewhere, I mean, I'll talk with my husband. He's very handy to have around. He's good with ideas. And then I will just almost like something to get myself going is I will look at sketches that I've already done that say weren't used or I didn't submit, and it just gets me going. So I have a layout book. It's like a folder, a ring binder. That's what I'm looking for. I have a ring binder and I just draw all of my layouts on like printer paper and I fill pages with layouts and then I just save them in my little ring binder. And if I'm ever really, really stuck, I'll just start flipping through the ring binder and, try to get some ideas from there. But like say the Lady Death versus Hell Witch cover where I did the two versions like that, where you could have it facing upwards or upside down. I had done a few layouts to begin with, and none of those layouts were quite jibing. Because a lot of artists were doing them, there were a lot already that were similar. So I started over and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure where I should go. So my husband was like, oh, why don't you do it like a medieval card? Like give it the medieval style with like angel and devil fighting each other, but then make it like a card because it was like in Vegas. And I was like, oh my God, okay, that works. I almost didn't go through with it just because it was so technically difficult for me to fit everything in a, perfectly aligned sort of way, but I didn't want them to have the same pose. I wanted them to both be slightly different. And, I was like, okay, maybe this is too hard because that took me like a few days of trying to draw it out and failing. Because I wanted the swords to be perfectly perpendicular. Is that the right word? In the cover going from corner to corner. And then I would have one pie slice basically for one of them and the other pie slice for the other. And then I'm almost done. I have inked the whole cover. It's been approved. And I realized when I started coloring it that the weight was off. Hell Witch had wings. And Lady Death, I didn't draw her with a cape. And the whole cover was either top or bottom heavy, depending on which way you put it. And so in the last minute, when I was in the middle of coloring it, I was like, I got to put a cape for Lady Death because the weight is like fucked up, So there was a lot of challenge. I'd say that one was the most challenging one where I really was like staring at the blank page and I didn't know what to do. So it does happen for sure. And it's honestly, for me, I haven't really found any real trick on how to get out of those besides just ramming speed your head against the wall until it cracks something.
I'm trying to find that photo that you're just talking about. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's amazing. Got too many items on my
right. It's tricky.
Oh, it'd be great if I. Oh, but here's a comment from Jason. That ring binder is now the most sought after collectible ever. And here's one from Gregory. Which character do you love working on the most, or do you enjoy them all because you get paid? No, you get creative different ways for each character. You can be creative.
Yeah, I mean, I love drawing all the characters that I am asked to draw and that I get to draw. They're all cool in their own way. And one thing that's nice is that they're also very different from one another, that you don't get stuck. You know, if I think if I was only working on one thing all the time, I would start running into difficulties with ideas, just because I've already drawn it every way I can think of, you know. So that kind of brings in some new inspiration, as it were.
And let's look at, come back here. So this one, and I believe, and you still have I think you were doing this one live.
Yeah.
On your Twitch channel. So you still do your Twitch live, and then it looks like Facebook. Is that like?
I multi-stream.
Multi-stream. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so folks, make sure to follow Dawn. You probably do already, but if you're brand new, don't know about it, go to dawnmcteigue.com. You can find her social, all the links on there. And yeah, so this is one. Yeah, I guess I feel, because I watched you do this one live, and this is the metal version, so the color's a little off than what you're doing on that live. But I don't know, just watching you, I guess something about watching you create and talk about the art just makes you more invested in the art. So when you see it, you're not just like, oh, it's a pretty picture. You're like, oh, okay, I understand what she was doing there, and the colors, the choices. And all that stuff.
That's great to hear.
So what can you tell us about those who did not watch the live broadcast? What can you tell us about this drawing?
It was one of the few times that I sent Brian almost like my layout was in color, because I kind of got that weird roundy thingy in the back idea with the blood coming down. Like, that was kind of what I had first, and then kind of built everything around it. I sent in a couple different layouts, and this is the one that was chosen. And the Throne of Skulls I wanted them to look like that shiny black rock. What's it called again? Obsidian? Is it obsidian? Rob, help. So trying to give it that look was really was tricky for me. And of course, that was handled in the colors. But onyx, thank you, Rob. So I was going for an onyx throne thing. And at one point, I had Lady Death had a braid. And then, so that was something that was changed in the process. And then while I was working on it, everyone on my live streams has actually claimed one of the skulls all over the piece. So it's their personal skull. And then for this one, it was at the time called Empress Death, or Empress Lady Death, or something like that. And I was supposed to draw her like an empress of the world sort of thing. And she has everyone in her iron fist, sort of dealio. So that's why I kind of went with the royal cloth sash situation. And, you know, some of these things just happen while I'm scribbling. And I'll draw a line that I intend while I'm working on it for it to be, I don't know, when I'm kind of working on the shape of the throne or something, and then all of a sudden it gets this swoop look like a cloth, and I'm like, oh my god, a cloth. And you know, it kind of all ties it in together like that, because I don't think that cloth was part of my plan from the beginning. Or maybe I got lazy and I didn't want to draw any more skulls and I threw the cloth in for that reason. Who knows, but it works.
Especially on this metal version, it almost feels like a waterfall. It's just like the way it's just kind of like a blood waterfall.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, what the fan art saying, yeah, black and gold armor is epic. Yeah, for sure. Don't really see that combination a lot, so that's really neat that you put those together for the metal version of this one.
Yay.
Okay, since we're almost running out of time here, I want to show off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I talk too much. Apologies, everyone.
Oh, no, we want to keep you. So I'm trying to keep it to half hour, so you can go back and do your life. So, folks, we have coming up, we haven't announced it yet, but next week, next Thursday, it's Spring Breakers. And it's going to be Thursday, March 30th. And there's going to be many amazing editions. But this one right here, we call this one, wrong one. This is Malevolent Decimation Innocent Edition by Dawn McTeigue. And this is the main version right here. Wow. So that's coming up next Thursday. You get a sneak peek right here, March 30th on that. What can you tell us about this one?
This was actually a con sketch, inked con sketch that I did for someone. I didn't finish it at the convention because I got too into it. And so I brought it home and scanned it. And with their okay and permission, I sent it to you guys to use if you wanted to. So the colors for this are by Ula Moss. And this one, I can't remember what the actual convention sketch request was, but it was something with like, okay, I think it was snoo energy and fluff hair. And snoo is that thing from Futurama. Do you recall when they went to that one planet that was only like Amazonian style women and it was death by snoo? Do you?
Anyone out there remember that one?
Death by snoo. Anyway, it's snoo energy and fluff hair. So he wanted like big fluffy hair and snoo energy, which snoo was basically the SEX word for that planet. So he just wanted her to have snoo energy and fluff hair.
Not only do we have that nice version, we also have a naughty version coming. A different color treatment there. My favorite right here out of these ones, this is the Pearl edition. I don't know if you could see the pearl linen on there.
Oh, wow. You guys did a pearl. Woo.
Kind of see that. Yeah, I love how just the simple red lips on that. And get this as well. This one love this one so much. We couldn't resist. We're also doing the metal.
Ooh, fun.
As well. And that's probably limited, really short. It doesn't say on this mock-up, but yeah. And I love that Brian does that with commissions, so folks can, if they have a great image, and I'm not sure how it works, but I think it's great to
awesome.
know that someone commissioned this, and then their artwork, not only did it create their original sketch is worth even more now, but everyone gets to share it, so it's not just one person, and otherwise you would have done it just for them, and no one else would see it, but now Sworn Nation gets to participate and enjoy this artwork that you did. So that is
yay.
Amazing. Let's see. Anyone else have any more questions here? Oh yeah, Rob's saying with how you do things, you just
winging it. Yes.
There's that song about Captain Kirk about winging it. Let's see if I missed any. I want to ask you too. I noticed that before on your website you mentioned that you enjoyed Marilyn Manson. Do you have any new music that you're listening to that think people should check out?
Yes, I do need to update my website. Something fierce. But yeah, I've been listening to these new guys. They're called, well, I don't know if they're new. They're new to me. Palais Royale, and I really am loving them right now. So I'm listening to them a ton. When I listen to music, which frankly, honestly, is not all that often, mostly I have TV shows going or tutorials going while I'm drawing. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, Palais Royale is awesome.
All right, we have to check that out and see how it's going. All right, looks like we're right on time. We've got the 4:29, 1 minute left. Anything? I'm going to turn this off. Anything left you want to say to Sworn Nation before we let you go back to do all that busy artwork you got?
Guys, thank you so very much for your support of my work. If we weren't able to get to any of your questions, as you know, I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can always come and ask me questions there. Coffin Comics is so cool that they allow me to live stream the process of pretty much 99.9% of the work that I do for them, unless it's a special secret. So please always feel free to join in. Thank you so much for supporting Coffin. For those of you that back the tiers that have the art that I've done in them, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you guys. Sworn. See you later.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, everyone. If you haven't got your tickets already, make sure to join Swarmfest, watch this commercial, and we'll see you later. Out.
Swarmfest, Swarmfest, Swarmfest. Swarmfest, the global gathering for Coffin Comics fiends and the Swarm, featuring exclusive party, artist, signings, commission, panels, beer, food, coffee, alcohol, tours of HQV2, trading posts, CGC, friendship, community, camaraderie, shenanigans, insanity, and more.
Plan ahead. Be there.
Tickets and details on sale now at coffincomicsshop.com. Presented by Coffin Comics. Swarmfest. February 23rd through 25th, 2024. Mesa, Arizona, USA. Swarm.